All
Ready.
right. Hey there, everybody. My name is Corey Jones. I'm with Compassion Works for All, even wearing my handy little t-shirt today. Thank you for joining us. And if you're with us live or if you're watching on the recording, we're happy to have you here. I do want to be sure and mention that today is starting the last week of April. And next week on Sunday, May the 2nd, I believe it's the 2nd, the first Sunday in May, whatever day that is, we're going to have an outdoor community public meditation time over at Murray Park off of Rebsman Road. And it's over by the sand volleyball courts. And we're going to be down in a little grassy area between some pavilions and the river. So really encourage you to be out there with us if you'd like. We're going to start at 3 o'clock. And we'll sit from 3 to 3:30, but really we've actually reserved a couple of pavilions for the whole day. So if you just want to go out to Murray Park and hang around and have a good time, and then at 3 o'clock, come on over and sit with us, that would be awesome. So we're going to do that all 4 Sundays, or the first 4 Sundays in May. The 5th Sunday in May is Memorial Day weekend. We're going to take that Sunday off. But the first 4 Sundays in May, we'll be out there at 3 o'clock for a seated meditation outside with the community, safely spread out for those who are still concerned about coronavirus. So we certainly encourage everybody to come be part of that. So Sundays in May at 3 o'clock at Murray Park. So that's my announcement. If you would like to learn more about Compassion Works for All and the work that we do with folks who are incarcerated in jails and prisons, you can go to our website, a simple Google search, Compassion Works for All, or compassionworksforall.org to learn more about us. So that's my advertisements for today. What I wanted to talk about today is how we practice. Because meditation obviously is not something we do, it's something we practice. And that's the language that's used on purpose, because ultimately that's what it is. My youngest son, he's 8, and he has recently taken to an interest in basketball, which just makes my heart happy, because that was kind of the sport that I played growing up. And so I'm always excited whenever my kids show interest in things that I'm also interested in. So this morning, we're just sitting around hanging out, and he says, "Daddy, can we go out back and play basketball?" I said, "Great, let's go out." So we're out on the driveway. I'm trying to just let him play, but the coach in me comes through, and I'm running some drills with him and teaching him these things. And my daughter comes out. My daughter is 7, and she sees that we're having this great time playing basketball. So she picks up a ball and she starts dribbling. And of course, I'm trying not to just put her off, but at the same time, I'm really focused on working with my son. And so my daughter goes off to the side with her ball, and she starts working on trying to dribble through her legs. And so she's telling me, "Daddy, look, I'm almost doing it." And I'm like, great. Yeah, that's good. And then finally she does it. She dribbles through her legs and then dribbles back. And she stops for a second, she yells, and she goes, "I did it." And in my terrible parenting moment, which I have to confess, rather than celebrating with her, rather than me like, "Hey, you did it, great, that's wonderful," instead, I looked at her and said, "Well, you didn't do it, you practiced it." And in my head, that was such a great, wise thing to say. It was a terrible thing to say to a 7-year-old girl who's excited. I should have just been excited with her. However, my mindset is one of practice. Practice, 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 practice. Everything that we do is practice. And while I should have been more aware as a parent in that moment, I do stand by what I actually said, though, and the concept of what I said. That everything that we do is practice. And with meditation, we can kind of fall into the same trap that my daughter fell into, where maybe we try it out, we dabble in it for a second, and then we do something. We have a good experience, or we have this breakthrough or this insight, and we go, "Ha, I did it. And now I'm done. And now I can be finished." When in reality, that's just the beginning. And so anything that we do in terms of meditation and mindfulness, any sort of clarity that we gain, any sort of mental state that we get, any time that we're seated in meditation and we have some kind of experience that's like an aha moment or a deep connection, we ought not get super excited and say, "I did it." We ought to appreciate that we practiced, that we had this experience. And ultimately that experience is going to be isolated to that moment. And the more we try to carry it with us, the more we try to say, "Okay, I did this, and now that's just going to be my identity for the rest of my life," the more it's going to wear off really, really quickly. But if we view it as, "Hey, I know that I can do this now. I know that I am capable of having this experience, but I'm also aware that every experience isn't going to be that way." specifically with mindfulness and meditation, I think that can become some of our frustration, where we have these big aha moments, or we have these big moments of clarity or connection during a time of meditation. And then the next time we sit down, our minds are just racing. And we're not focused, and we're struggling, and we're restless, and we're bored, and that feeling just doesn't happen the next time. And so we start to wane. But what we have to remember is that every practice is its own, and the intention of being mindful, the intention of sitting with our thoughts, even if they're scattered, even if they're all over the place, the intention is in and of itself a helpful practice. So give yourself a little bit of grace and give yourself a little bit of credit whenever you are intentional and whenever you are mindful, that just the act of doing that is very beneficial for your ongoing practice. And obviously those things can happen. They're most helpful when they happen while we're in a time of seated meditation, of focused on our breath, focused on our thoughts, focused on our body. But those can also happen while we're just aware of what we're doing in the moment. There's a great book that I read not long ago called The Joy of Living, and he talks about meditation anytime, anywhere. So while you're driving in your car, being connected to the car, noticing that when you press your foot down on the pedal, the car goes. You have this connection. Whenever you're walking down the hall from one office to another, or whenever you're at home cooking, whatever it is, just to be aware and to be intentional with that. All of those things are great forms of practice. Okay, that was a lot of talking, and I've gone into rambling mode just a bit. I hope you'll forgive me for that. But I really believe that by seeing everything that we do in terms of mindfulness and meditation as just practice, it's a great way to carry us forward and a great way to help us build up some resilience, because we don't have to be the LeBron James of meditation every time we sit down on the cushion. So, okay, here we go. Let's join in. I'm going to take a swig of water real quick. Let's begin our time of focused breathing together. I invite you into a mindful posture with your feet flat on the floor if you're seated in a chair like I am. If you're seated on a cushion or kneeling, just assume a stable, comfortable posture. Have your hands folded gently in your lap and begin to settle in. And we'll begin our time together today with 3 bells. As we begin our time of meditation together, don't try to do anything that's forced. Don't try to block out anything that's in your mind. Just start to notice where your awareness is, where your attention is. And as you notice where it is, you can gain control over it. And so you can move your attention almost like moving a mouse on a computer. You can move your attention to the place where your feet makes contact with the floor. And you can just leave your awareness there for a moment and see how it feels. Move your awareness to your belly. Let your belly be soft. Notice your hands without moving them or adjusting them, just notice them. Try, if you can, to put your awareness on each finger just for a moment. Become intimately aware of what your hands are doing, even though they are still and comfortably folded in your lap. Just be aware of them. Notice that as your awareness goes to your hands, maybe you start to feel your pulse there. It's all these sensations. Bring your awareness now to your heart center, to your chest. Notice if you can feel your heart beat. And if not, that's okay. Bring your awareness to your shoulders and your neck. Let them be relaxed. And don't pull your shoulders down, but just let gravity do its thing. Unclench your jaw. Bring awareness to your face, to your forehead, to the top of your head. And we're doing this, we're noticing our body as a way of practice, as a way of practicing controlling our awareness, controlling our attention. Keeping our attention in the present moment without letting it drift to the past or drift to the future. We're just going to be here right now today. And so let's move our awareness now from our body to our breath. Breathe in and out gently through your nose. And as you begin to think about your breathing, you may notice that it becomes a little bit awkward. It doesn't feel natural. It feels like maybe you're having to control it or having to force it, and that's okay. If it feels a little unnatural or a little clunky, you can just say it. It just feels unnatural. But continue to keep your awareness there on your breath. You might also notice that with your awareness on your breath, your breathing is no longer shallow. Maybe your inhales and exhales are a bit longer. No matter what you notice about your breathing, it's perfectly fine. The point is to notice, it's to be aware, it's to exercise holding your attention in the present and in this physical space. Now, as we've had our awareness on our body and we've brought our awareness to our breath, let's now bring our awareness to our mind, to our thoughts. And you might notice that when you try to think about what you're thinking about, the thoughts seem to go away. Suddenly, your mind is not drifting, it's just present. And that's okay. In fact, that's helpful. But as you continue to put your awareness on your thoughts and you ask yourself, what am I thinking? What is my mind doing? Just notice where it starts to go. Notice how long it takes you to become aware that your mind has drifted. And when you're aware of it, just gently bring it back. Gently take control back of your attention and of your awareness. And allow the awareness of your physical body, the awareness of your breath, and the awareness of your mind and your thoughts. Allow all three of those to sync, to become integrated, as if you're noticing all three at once as one embodied person. You are not just a body, you are not just breath, you are not just thoughts, but you are the process of all three. And so begin to notice all three working together at the same time. Become fully aware of your presence in this moment. And we're going to hold our awareness here for just a minute with this fully integrated self, our body, our breath, our mind. And I'll let us just sit in a few moments of silence with that. And as you notice your attention or your awareness drifting, gently take control back and bring your awareness to your body, to your breath, to your mind, and stay present. Notice where your thoughts are right now and gently bring them back into the present. Notice what your breath is doing now. Notice what your body is doing now. Has your posture changed since we began? Now, as we begin to come to the end of our meditation time, bring your awareness, your attention, your mind, your thoughts, bring it all into the present. Wherever your mind has drifted off to, gently bring it back. Be fully aware of your body, wherever it is you're sitting. Become very aware of your surroundings, what you hear around you, what you can see if your eyes are open, what you can smell, taste, feel. Become deeply aware of what you feel, your emotions. And allow your awareness to sit softly, gently here in the present, without drifting to the past, without drifting to the future. Stay as present as you can. And together, let's take one final deep inhale. I hope that was helpful for everyone. And I especially, again, want to reiterate and encourage you to continue to practice. And when you have those breakthrough, wonderful moments, celebrate it and be thankful for it, but be ready to practice next time, no matter what it is, no matter how it, no matter what form it takes. So thank you all. And I look forward to seeing you, especially if you're in the Little Rock area, Sundays in May at 3 o'clock out at Murray Park. So thanks so much.